Okay. Miami Grand Prix food prices. Too good to leave off the list. Miami Grand Prix, by the way, was super fun.
It actually was. It was a good
race.
race. It was.
Congratulations, Lando.
Mr. Norris. I couldn't believe that.
I couldn't either.
Like,
They pulled the strategy off perfectly.
yeah, and he just outran Max at the
beat
end.
him. He beat him on pace. Beat him on pace.
Yeah, I've heard some people saying
on
that
strategy.
there was that when Max hit that bollard, the orange cone,
Right.
it did some damage to the bottom of his car, and I'm like,
It didn't touch the bottom of his car though.
Well, and I'm like, that you shouldn't have hit it then,
It's his own fault.
right? Like,
Okay, let's
Yeah.
get back to the real intrigue.
okay, the real intrigue is I saw this. It was a picture, and it said when Formula One hosts a Grand Prix in the United States, and then it's a picture of of course, the Miami Grand Prix goes around Hard Rock Stadium.
Right.
So this is like
Dolphin Stadium.
Yeah, so this is like a Hard Rock little cafe where you can buy food while you watch the race. I'll give you some examples.
I don't believe this is real, by the way.
It's 100%. Look at the picture. It's 100% real. A fruit refresher. Would you like a fruit refresher that comes with pink pineapple, watermelon, stone fruit, kiwi, and coconut granita? I don't know what that is.
It's got to be like a rum.
Yeah.
Like a liquor.
That will...
Did you say pink pineapple? That's probably why it's so expensive.
Right.
Never heard of that in
It's
my
genetically
life.
modified.
Yeah.
That will run you, my friend, a cool $190.
American
Yes.
dollars?
Ooh.
Or are we talking like rubles?
No, this is American dollars.
Okay.
Maine lobster rolls.
Okay, I said this already. You are touching an ocean, the same ocean that touches Maine.
Right.
May I just say?
Well,
Why are you shipping in lobsters from Maine?
couldn't they just get these out of the fake marina?
Oh, that's right. Fake lobsters, cockroaches.
Yeah, Maine lobster rolls. $280.
For one, or is that for the entire order of everything?
I'm
Is that
not
like
sure.
the shipment that they received?
Maybe. You could also get carne asada nachos. Carne asada nachos will run you a
Classy.
cool $180.
I hate everything about Liberty Media and Formula One.
Maybe my favorite thing though, you can add to any item 1 ounce of caviar,
Okay.
$400.
Conniving bastards. Also, have you ever tasted caviar?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, it tastes like the liquefied smell of fish. So if you enjoy the smell of fish in your mouth,
Yeah. For $400, you can have an
enjoy
ounce of it.
caviar.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just wanted to talk about that for half a second.
That is unbelievable.
I was pretty shocked. And at first, I was like you. I thought it was fake.
Yeah.
I was looking it up. It's
Not
legit.
Photoshop. People didn't put an extra zero after an exclamation point or anything like that.
Nope. And I heard about this last year too, actually. But I was like, whatever. But this year when I saw a picture of the menu, I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So you go pay $700, $800, $900, $1,000 for tickets, and then you get to pay another $500 for what I'm assuming is fancy stadium food.
Right. I highly doubt it's that good.
Yeah, there's no way it's that good.
No.
Okay. Well, that gives me another reason to not visit Miami. Aside from wanting to visit Pitbull and Will
Mr.
Smith.
305.
Yeah. I think, does Will Smith still live there?
Not likely.
He parties in the city
Right.
where the heat is on. But then he's on the beach all night.
Until the break of dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's still there.
it's hard to find him.
It is hard to find him. Okay. Well, so Formula One was actually really fun. I'm having a good day today. Let me tell you why I'm having a good day. So I currently drive a 2003 Mercedes-Benz ML500. And it is the automotive love of my life at the moment. Yesterday, I had to run to the store and grab some food.
Okay.
$180
carne asada nachos.
No, I just grabbed a 3,000th of an ounce of caviar to feed my kids. It was $18. So I hopped in the car, and in Salt Lake City on Saturday, My children played in the yard with water balloons and the hose.
Okay.
On Sunday, I shoveled my driveway.
Yes.
I'm not exaggerating on either of those counts. So the barometric pressure shifted mightily from Saturday to Sunday. That's going to play into this story. Okay. So I hop in my car, the Mercedes-Benz ML500.
2003.
And turn it on. It's been a flawless machine. Check engine light is on. And I'm like, oh man, I haven't seen that for a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while. And as a German automotive enthusiast, unless it's flashing and unless there are puffs of smoke emanating from somewhere, I'm not too worried.
I think the check engine light is just to let you know that the engine is still there.
Yeah.
It hasn't been stolen from the car.
It had not been stolen.
Okay.
And I was like, oh man, it's kind of a bummer because I have to renew the registration next month. So I was like, of course that's how it goes.
100%.
So I put some gas in it, some premium gas, because that's all it takes.
Give a pat on the dash.
Give a little pat on the dash. I fed it some sauerkraut. I recited some marks to it. And I reset the gas cap, right?
Right.
And
crank it down a little tighter.
Yeah, I did. I cranked it down super tight. I was checking out a forum last night, a Mercedes-Benz forum that I frequent.
As you do.
And it said that this generation of Mercedes, the W163, is susceptible to large barometric shifts, decreasing pressure inside the gas tank and throwing on a check engine light.
You're joking.
100% true.
This is the most German car thing of all time.
The most German thing. So the storm is coming and the engine is malfunction. So when I undid the gas cap, it released the pressure. And then when I put it back on, it was fine. So I turned on, shot gasoline out at me. So I turned the car on this morning. 9 check engine light. So I was super jazzed. That made my day. It's the little things like that.
That is incredible.
I know. It was pretty funny.
A storm is coming.
It's like an old man. He's like, oh, my knee's acting up.
Right.
The rain's coming. My car's like, oh, is a storm coming?
Yeah.
The check engine light must be illuminated.
We must warn him somehow.
Yeah. And it did. And thank you. So that was, I'm in a happy mood for that reason.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah. It was really good.
Yeah. It's so funny because a similar thing, I got Sammy's registration thing in the mail or whatever for her SQ5.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, okay, I can get that done. Like I'll do it tomorrow. Literally on our way home from dinner, the check engine light came on.
It does.
And I was like, what? So naturally, most people would be like, hey, I'm going to go and figure out what the problem is.
Heck no.
No, I just drove it for a day and it turned back off and I just got it registered.
Give it the old Italian tune-up.
Redline it a couple times.
Yep.
And you're fine.
Yep. Learn some German curse words.
Literally has been, and it probably was the change in weather too, legitimately.
It could have been.
An O2 sensor or something.
So many sensors on. The more sensors that they put on cars, the angrier I become as a human being.
Yeah.
There's sensors for sensors and it never ends. They always break. It doesn't indicate that something's wrong necessarily.
No.
It's like TPMS.
Right.
Your tire is either flat or a battery needs to be changed.
Right. It's like,
so you have to get out and check it anyway.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Obama.
Yeah.
Probably. So I was worried about, fixing the Mercedes because I don't love spending money on fixes. I don't know if anybody does.
Yeah, it's tough.
But I read an article today. So the SLR McLaren, the Mercedes SLR McLaren, we're talking about Mercedes.
Yeah.
The SLR McLaren, one of my favorite cars of all time. I hated it when it came out.
It is really cool. It's aged well, I feel like.
It's aged so well.
So we have a client that lives in Mapleton that is like semi shopping for a 722 edition.
Oh man.
SLR McLaren.
That would be well, okay, so tell him this article, or I'll send him a link to this article. So a gentleman recently posted that his SLR McLaren, 2005, so 20 years old, needed...
That's crazy. 20 years old already.
Yeah, needed new brakes. And this one had the carbon ceramic brakes.
Oh, mercy.
Has the carbon ceramic brakes.
Okay.
So I wanted to ask you if you don't know,
Okay.
for 4 brakes and service, which has to be done at a Mercedes-Benz dealership.
Yeah.
Of course, you can't take it to Jiffy Lube. He tried.
You could.
They could weasel some new brakes on there, I bet.
Yeah.
Grand Caravan style. How much was he quoted from the dealership
Oh gosh.
out the door to get his 4 brakes on his SLR McLaren replaced?
Okay, so my ADHD brain has to mention a couple things here.
Okay.
One,
Work it out.
I feel like dealerships that or manufacturers that put ceramic brakes on cars as some are standard. But like the other day I was at it might have been Big O Tires, and this lady pulled up in a Cayenne Turbo coupe.
Okay. Bad idea.
Right.
Coupes.
Right. So she pulls up, she comes inside. I overhear her saying, "My brakes are really squeaky. Can you give me a quote on replacing them?" And I wasn't going to say anything.
Okay.
But I looked out the door.
Yeah.
I saw the car. So I heard what she was saying before.
Sure.
And then I actually, believe it or not, saw the clothing that she was wearing. And I was like, she's not in anything normal. So I look out the window, Cayenne Turbo S Coupe, and I see the yellow calipers on it.
Is it yellow or is it acid green?
It's yellow.
Okay.
So the E-Hybrid would have had acid green.
Okay.
So Porsche, they use yellow brake calipers. You can option black, but generally if you see a Porsche with yellow brake calipers, they're carbon ceramic.
Okay.
So I overhear this lady, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, no problem. Like we can quote you on that." And I kind of saved him the problem too, because he was going to go out there and look like a real idiot.
Yeah.
Or maybe he wasn't, but I walked over there and I was like, "Hey, I know this sounds crazy, but like I'm a huge Porsche fanatic.
Okay.
Your car has carbon ceramic brakes, and they have to be within a certain operating temperature to not squeak."
Yeah.
So I was like,
Carbon ceramic brakes are, if you've ever heard them,
"Yeah,
they are
they're
loud.
right, but unless they're hot.
Okay.
But most, like if you drive and you get carbon ceramic brakes hot,
Yeah.
anybody who's driving around you is gonna be like, look at this giant a-hole driving like an idiot, because you got to brake late, you got to brake hard.
You've got to put some heat into those,
Right.
into those calipers.
Yeah.
Or
So
into the discs.
I told her, I was like, I know this
Rotors.
sounds unconventional,
Yeah.
but like next time you drive, like do some hard stops and warm them up, and they won't squeak anymore.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen her since,
Funny.
but the reason I say that is because I know in 2024
Yeah.
to replace a set of carbon ceramic Porsche brakes,
Uh-huh.
which normally you don't have to replace. Like they last
They
long
last
time.
forever. So it's interesting you say that. These were timed out.
Right.
So on the SLR McLaren, this was a timeout service. So
Okay.
they were still functional, but
It wasn't even aware.
no.
Yeah. So to option ceramic brakes on a Porsche is like between $7,000 and $9,000, depending on the model.
Okay.
To replace a set of ceramic brakes on a Porsche is like 30 grand.
Okay.
So, but this is 2005.
It was 2005.
Ceramic brake technology, which
And it was an option. You didn't have to get the SLR McLaren with carbon ceramic.
right. And I
You
would
get it
like
with
to
steel.
know
You could get slotted and drilled from Rock Auto,
right
$125 a
from
piece.
the power stock brake upgrade kit.
That's right.
I want to know what other cars in 2005
Had carbon
had ceramic brakes.
That's a good. I don't know.
bet there are not that many. So I'm going to say it was more.
Okay.
My guess. Now that we're getting here, I know this is a long way to get to my guess.
No, this is good. You're formulating a hypothesis.
Yes, I am going to say that these brakes were probably for rotors and pads.
You got to replace the pads too.
I'm going to say they were double Porsche. I'm going to say they were like 60,000.
Okay.
60 to 70,000.
So imagine, if you will, a $60,000 brake service
right.
for brakes.
So I replaced all 4 pads and rotors
Yeah.
on Sammy's SQ5
Yeah.
about a year ago.
Okay.
And it cost me $450.
Okay. So it's interesting you say that. We did Liz's Highlander,
Uh-huh.
pads, rotors, and sensors, $325.
Holy cow. I can do rotors and pads on the Fiat for like $250.
Yeah, that's
all the way
because
around.
it's the same brakes that they use on shopping carts in retirement homes. Okay, so you ready for the price?
Yes.
$120,000. $120,450.
You're joking.
I'm dead serious.
120,000. What in the world?
Okay, 120 grand. So here's the thing. So they used a specialty shop to make them in the first place, right?
Yeah.
You can't just buy them off the shelf. They have to be specially made
Probably for your car.
For your car. With
Oh my gosh.
these molds that exist in like a shed in the UK somewhere.
Right.
So I want to
Chipping Norton or whatever.
I want to read the process that they go through to make each one of these rotors.
Okay, let's do it.
Takes 2 months to make all of these rotors.
Oh my gosh, 120K might be a deal.
Yeah, I ordered 6. Watch my
Might as
eBay.
well stock up.
Watch my eBay listing. Okay, so carbon fiber and silicon resin mix is put into molds, placed under 20,000 kilograms of pressure. So that's 50,000 pounds, basically.
Holy cow.
At 200 degrees Celsius, which I'm less familiar with the conversion on that. I would assume it's about 1 billion degrees. 200 degrees Celsius, and then they cool them off, take them out for a week, put them back in.
That's 392 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay. Keep your conversion calculator up. Then they put it back in, heat it up to 1,000 degrees Celsius, add more silicon powder. So what's 1,000 degrees Celsius? That's like the sun.
1,832.
Yeah, that's like the sun. Cool it off, take it out, let it sit for a bit, put it back in 1,700 degrees Celsius, which is how many Fahrenheit?
That is 3,100.
3,100 degrees Fahrenheit for 24 hours in a vacuum.
Holy cow.
So it kind of, it alters the chemical structure of the carbon ceramic, and it turns it into the silica carbide ceramic that gives it the... So the process to make it is insane. But I can't... So one of the fears that I think every car guy has as they go to a dealership, when you see that guy walk in and he's got the clipboard and he's like, come out, let's go over what we're gonna say, and your butthole clenches just a little bit.
I've got some things to recommend.
Yeah. And then having him say, okay, it's gonna be $120,000
For brakes.
For brakes.
My gosh.
Yeah. So that, to me, when my check engine light was off this morning, I was pretty excited. But then learning I don't have to pay 120 grand for brakes made me even happier.
Holy cow. Yeah, that kind of reminds me. The other day I was looking at the costs of like to service a Chiron, a Bugatti Chiron.
Sure.
Which is like, those are anywhere between like $2 and $3.5 million for the car.
Okay.
But an oil change, just an oil change on a Chiron.
Yeah.
So it takes quite a bit because it's a W16.
Yeah, it's got
quad turbo.
4 turbos. Yep.
Every 14 months or 10,000 miles, whichever comes first.
Has
so
anybody
14
driven
months.
a car? What's the highest mileage Chiron, do you think?
It's got to be like 48 miles.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. But an oil change on a Chiron, you have a guess?
Oh man, I would say in the like $3,000 to $4,000 range.
Okay, so like if you go to again, I'll reference Porsche just because I worked at Porsche and
Sure.
I know this. If you go to Porsche and get an oil change on like a Turbo S, you're probably gonna be like $400.
Sure, that's not too bad.
Chiron, 25,000.
Oh, I was a little bit off. 25 grand?
$25,000 for a Chiron.
What is the
oil
oil
change.
made out of by chance?
I have no idea.
Blood
Baby
of a
unicorns?
virgin?
Yeah.
Oh my, 25 grand?
Yeah, and you have to do it every year, every 14 months.
Sure. Okay.
I think I paid $25,000 for Sammy's Audi.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Do they have, you know how you get those Jiffy Lube coupons in the mail? Does Bugatti send those out?
Right. You can buy 4 up front.
Yeah, for 80 grand.
Yeah.
Because I do that.
I would do that.
I'm stocking up.
Heartbeat.
I'm stocking up on carbon ceramic SLR brakes and Jiffy Lube Bugatti coupons.
Chiron oil change.
That's my investment.
Maybe they should do a collab.
Oh, they should.
Yes.
Okay. And we talked a little bit a few podcasts ago about the average cost of ownership of a McLaren F1
Yeah.
was ridiculous.
It's insane.
Worth it.
Yes.
Not for the Bugatti.
No.
Not the SLR McLaren, maybe.
That's such a cool car. I feel like that was like the first hypercar.
It kind of was. Like
Yeah.
easily hit 200 miles an hour, had
Yes.
crazy gull wing doors, basically had the Mercedes F1 engine
Yeah.
in it, had the F1 nose kind of integrated.
It was so freaking cool.
It was cool.
Yeah.
The hood is 85 feet long.
There's a Mercedes in my top 5 today.
Okay. Can we talk about one more thing though? Because
Yeah.
I have been so excited to talk about this. You probably saw it. Everybody, I'm probably the last one to know the new Ferrari coming out.
Oh yeah.
The 12 cilindri.
Is that what? I don't know. I have no
the
idea. What
12 cilindri.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I said it in Italian.
Yeah.
You swine. Do you know what 12 cilindri means?
12 cylinders.
Oh, you nailed it.
Whoa.
And I just couldn't be happier.
You
Because
like it?
my favorite Ferrari of all time, behind the F40, is the Daytona.
Oh.
I love the Ferrari Daytona. So the 365 GTB4
Yes.
just does something for me.
Oh, it's such a good looking car.
From the early 70s, the golden era of excess,
Yes.
and the new 12 cylindri is the perfect tribute to it. It's beautiful.
It does look good. The only thing I'm not sure about is the wheels.
I love the wheels.
Yeah.
I can't point anything wrong with it. It has the cool, I forget what they call it, the glass on the back,
Oh yeah.
the Delta trunk, Delta deck or something like that.
Yeah.
So
I like it better than the 812. I'm more of a fan of the F12
I
than the
never
812.
liked the 812. The 812 looked like the C8 Corvette to me a little bit. Had the same feel to me.
Okay.
But so really good. One of my other favorite Ferraris too is the 550, the Maranello.
Yeah.
And this is kind of the next step of that. It's a Ferrari GT car. It's not a sports car. It's not a hypercar. It's a GT car.
100%.
But it has the 6.5 liter V12. Just Ferrari
Naturally
bread and butter.
aspirated.
The engine that you want as a car guy.
I think it
The
is.
engine.
I think it is.
It it has 820 horsepower, 819 horsepower, 7-speed dual clutch. Like it's perfection. 9,500 RPM redline.
That's ridiculous.
It just is perfection. And I could not be more excited because everything that has come out in the last decade is some sort of twin turbo V6 hybrid or pure hybrid or something like that. And just to have a naturally aspirated V12 gives me the fizz. I will never own one,
You might.
but I am 30 some odd years old. I'll put a poster of it on my wall over my wedding pictures.
No doubt.
Can I read the quote from the he's the director of sales or the director of business development from Ferrari?
Read it off.
Because I'm going to put a poster of this guy right next to it, by the way. He said, "We started work on this car 4 years ago. Everyone was talking about electrification and nothing else. The 12 cilindri
Right.
is
Didn't
the exact
Ferrari say
opposite."
they were not interested in any way in electric cars?
Yeah,
Something like
but
that.
they're coming out with one next year, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
The 12 cilindri is the exact opposite. It doesn't even feature a hybrid system. Instead, the product planner's main source of inspiration was the rich heritage, outstanding performance, and amazing presence of the Ferrari GTs from the 60s and 70s, which defined the DNA of our brand. Think of the 12 cilindri as a state-of-the-art muscle car with style and manners.
I think if drooling had a sound, it would be Dodici Cilindri.
This guy's name is Enrico Galliera, and I am a fan. I am a fan, sir.
That is like one. I don't think Ferrari is doing everything right, but I feel like their heritage stuff.
Yep,
They're doing.
I agree.
They're doing well, and the fact that they're like, who else right now is just coming out with an 825 horsepower naturally aspirated V12.
Nobody.
No.
It's all about
Porsche's doing well with their NA flat sixes, but the only thing that's NA now is the GT3 and GT3 RS.
right. Everything else is turbocharged.
Yeah.
It gives me a little bit of hope. Gives me a little bit of hope.
We'll see how long it lasts.
Okay. I got one more thing before we jump into. I'm excited for your top 5.
You should be. Because they could do something. They could include that new Ferrari in my top 5 in the near future.
Okay. Well, I've got 2 things. One of them short, though.
Okay.
My weekly rant on electric cars is going to be short this week. But it's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's something I've been talking about, and I can't be the only one. I just am not in too many circles. My circle of influence is remarkably small since I work from home.
Okay.
So I read an article on NPR. Yeah.
Exciting.
And what did the director say? But it was funny because it was about a lady who owned a 2014 Tesla Model S.
Okay.
She bought it because she wanted it to be environmentally friendly. She lives in San Francisco. She's one of those.
Okay.
Totally fine with, that. Her car had 84,000 miles on it, and the range had dropped under like 100 miles.
Under 100?
So she wanted to fix it.
Okay.
She wanted to go in and have the batteries replaced.
You can do that?
Well, what does it cost to replace the batteries in a Tesla Model S?
I have no idea, but
So
at
her
least
car-
double what that car's worth.
Her car, she had it appraised for $13,000. To replace the batteries was $22,000. So do you know what she did? She sold it to a recycling plant.
Really?
Yeah. It didn't make sense. It was not financially viable.
Yeah.
And that is the problem with electric cars. And it wasn't just the batteries that she was upset about. It was all of the infotainment and things were so dated
And you can't
and so slow, you can't update those.
Right. It's like older iPhones where like you get to a certain iOS and you can't update it for past that.
It just doesn't work. So all of these early adopted EVs are starting to phase out, and you can't do anything with them.
No. Wow, that's crazy.
So-
and it's not that old.
No. 10 years old.
You're right. It's 10 years old.
It's got less than 100,000 miles on it. So
Do you know the average age of a vehicle on the road now?
do you?
I just heard a new.
Let's hear.
So-
I know the mileage.
So
But
it
what's
used to
the
be up until recently. Well, I'm just going to tell you the current age because since the car market, like with COVID and everything, the car market went a little crazy. The age
Everything
went
went
up
crazy.
a little bit.
Sure.
So the average age of a car on the road nowadays is 12 years.
Okay.
That car's 10 years old,
Yeah.
and she had to scrap it.
So she didn't even hit the average.
No,
And
didn't
I know
even hit the average.
mileage is close to 200,000 miles now.
Is it really?
Yeah. So people
So she had
are,
84,000 miles.
Yeah. People are holding onto their cars for longer. But these electric cars, I mean, anything with a battery,
You can't.
anything with a battery, a laptop, a phone, a Walkman, all of them, battery degradation
Right.
will ruin it. And couple that with being completely unable to fix the infotainment and all of the tech features that were so cool when it first came out.
Yeah.
Garbage.
That's crazy. But I'm not surprised.
Okay, last thing.
Okay.
For me, I had a lot today.
We haven't recorded and we weren't able to record last week
I know.
because of me. So
Okay, here we go.
what you got?
The fastest list of the fastest accelerating production cars ever made.
Oh gosh.
So I'm gonna go through a fast because we don't need to spend time on each one.
Okay.
But the first one I never would have guessed. Number one, I never would have guessed
Okay.
that it was as fast as it is.
I think I have an idea, but
Okay. Number 15, Bugatti Chiron,
okay.
2.4.
2.4.
Number 15 accelerates at 0 to 60 in 2.4 seconds. That's insane.
That is insane.
Same speed as a Taycan Turbo S.
Right.
2.4
That
seconds.
Chiron weighs like, I think it weighs almost 5,000 pounds.
No, it was 84,000 pounds. Number 13, a Model X Plaid, 2.3 seconds.
Oh gosh. Chiron weighs 4,000 pounds.
Yes. Okay. Number 11. Oh, let's see number 12. The Ferrari 296 GTB, 2.3 seconds.
Those are quick. That's a twin turbo V6 hybrid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. The Model S Plaid P100D, 2.28 seconds. Chiron Super Sport, 2.2 seconds. Lamborghini Huracan Performante, 2.2 seconds. I did not know that.
I would not have guessed the Performante was that high.
All of these cars have been ridiculous, aside from the electric stuff.
Okay.
Crazy expensive. 911 Turbo S,
Yes.
2.1 seconds. 918 Spider, 2.1 seconds. So Porsche's world-beating hypercar from what, a decade ago
is now the same as a Turbo S.
Same as a Turbo
So
S.
that's kind of crazy actually, because is Porsche lists that car at like 2.4, I think.
Okay.
Or maybe even 2.6. But
Yeah.
Porsche always sandbags.
Yeah, they do. We like it. The SF90 Stradale, 2.0, 2 seconds flat. And I can say the SF90 is the most ridiculous
So
piece of,
wicked.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
The Model S Plaid, 1.98. Koenigsegg Gemera, 1.9. Lucid Air Sapphire, 1.89. Number 2, Rimac Nevera, 1.74. Rimac is like Koenigsegg to me. Couldn't care less.
Yeah, I couldn't care less either. And I want to know how many times they've been able to replicate these times.
That's a good question.
But continue.
Number 1,
There's a car on here you haven't mentioned.
the Challenger SRT Demon,
Yep.
170.
Yeah.
1.66 seconds.
Right.
0 to 60.
And I think they did get that time on a prepped surface.
Don't care.
But still, it's insane.
That is unbelievable.
For an internal combustion engine car. And
Right.
it's a Dodge.
And it has a space on the dashboard to stow your skull chewing tobacco. It comes with a pair of denim shorts.
Denim's also in my top 5
Oh
today.
my gosh, what is happening? Okay, so I was astounded by that, and I was proud of the internal combustion component.
Okay.
Okay, let's get to your top 5. Without any further ado.
Without any further ado. But
Without any Freddie ado.
Oh,
Remember Freddie ado?
Yeah.
He just turned 18.
10 years later. I think it was actually... No, he's like 30 something now.
Yeah, no, he is. Poor
Okay.
kid.
Okay.
I'm ready.
My top 10. Do you want me to
Hold
do top 10, top 5?
Wait. Nope. Drum roll. That was a drum roll. Okay.
Perfect.
I'm ready.
Do you want the honorable mentions first or last?
Just tell me what the list is first.
Okay. My list is the top 5. I'm trying to figure out the best way to word this. Top 5 collaborations between automotive manufacturers and designer brands,
Okay.
designer clothing
Okay.
or style brands.
I like it.
because
I
they're
like it.
my number one car inspired this list.
Okay.
I honestly can't even remember where in the last week I saw it or heard about it.
Subaru Outback LL Bean edition.
No, but that could be an honorable mention.
No, it shouldn't.
Yeah, so
Subaru Forester Standard Poodle edition. Subaru Forester WNBA Standard Poodle edition.
something like
We're
that.
getting canceled.
Yeah, the Range Rover Deer Valley edition.
Oh, there you go.
I think they only made like 15 of those.
The AMG 63 lip filler edition.
Something like that. Okay. And this isn't in any particular order other than my number one. Because the number one,
Okay.
I
It's the
want
top of the
one.
list.
I have to have it.
Okay.
I want one.
Okay.
But they'll probably go for $1 billion now.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay. First on the list is the Lamborghini Murcielago Versace edition.
Oh my gosh. Perfect. Perfect.
Yes.
Match made in heaven.
in heaven. You could only get it in white or black.
Sure.
It had some Versace badging and I think some like special stitching in the seats and stuff.
Here's my question. Anybody that purchased the Lamborghini Murcielago Versace edition, They should have gotten it for free if they could spell Lamborghini or Versace.
Or Murcielago.
Any of those three, if you can spell it, you get it for free.
100%.
They wouldn't have lost a dime.
Yeah. Not making it in my top 5 or my honorable mentions, it's just being mentioned, is the Fiat 500 Gucci edition.
Oh, did they make that?
Yeah, 100%. They really did.
Gosh.
But how does Versace get a Murcielago and Gucci gets a Fiat 500?
That's a great question.
Okay. Number 2, this company has a shoe collaboration that I would really like a pair of.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the, what year was this? It's a Mercedes Gullwing.
Okay, like a 300 SL.
Yes, a 300 SL Gullwing Bape edition.
Bape?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. So Bape is a designer brand, but I think everything they do is like, it's like a special like camo print.
Okay.
Yeah. So look up the Bape.
I'm looking it up.
The Bape Gullwing. You can tell, maybe it wasn't a Gullwing. I'm pretty sure it is though.
The Vape Subaru WRX?
Similar.
Bape.
No, but Bape, they did, I think it's an Ultra Boost, an Adidas Ultra Boost.
Oh, yeah, no, it's a 300 SL.
Yeah, and it's sweet.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is crazy to see such like a halo pinnacle automotive design wrapped in camo.
Right? And like such a classic, sleek, pretty design.
Yeah.
And then it's in like, and it's not, it's like a weird, like splotchy camo.
Yeah. It would be like seeing Heidi Klum in hunting attire.
Right.
Yeah. But I like it.
Here, Heidi, put on this mossy oak.
Oh my gosh. Moss. That's my neck tattoo. Okay.
Okay. The next one is, this collaboration has actually made me enjoy the car more.
Okay.
This is a car I'm not a huge fan of in terms of styling, but this edition I really, really love, actually.
Okay.
It's a Bugatti Chiron, and it's the Hermes edition.
Okay. I've seen the Hermes edition.
It's so cool.
Two wrongs don't make a right for me.
Oh, I love it.
Do you?
Off-white, paint-matched wheels. I think it looks good.
Okay.
A couple other styling cues they added.
Yeah. Does it have an Hermes belt buckle badge on the grill by chance?
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it comes with luggage.
Okay.
Hermes luggage.
Well, it's interesting. I thought Hermes did a Nissan Altima, but it was Herpes. Herpes. Nissan Altima. 99 Altima.
Money.
Okay. Hermes, Bugatti.
Yep. Okay, this has to be one of the best collaborations of all time. Like the two that match up so perfectly.
Okay.
And this is actually a watch company,
Sure.
but Land Cruiser, you can get a G-Shock edition Land Cruiser.
Can you really?
Yeah.
The two most look at my wrist right now. What is on my wrist right now?
A G-Shock.
There's a G-Shock adorning my tiny little wrist right now.
Right. So, like two of the most
Indestructible.
the indestructible watch brand, and the indestructible car,
The zombie apocalypse car of choice.
Toyota Land Cruiser,
That is, I didn't know about that. That's amazing.
G-Shock Land Cruiser, baby.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go through my honorable mentions before my number one.
Okay.
I'm so excited about my number one. I'm trying to build
genuinely curious.
tension.
Okay.
Here. Okay, honorable mentions. And this is something that I actually kind of like, but it's the Harley Davidson edition F-150s.
I hate those. I hate those so much. Oh man, with the black with the orange trim.
The early
right?
2000s ones are horrid.
They are. The early 2000s Ford F-150 is like somebody put a refrigerator on wheels. That's the same design.
Yes. Okay. Next one is the Eddie Bauer edition Ford Explorer.
Yep, absolutely. Worked at Eddie Bauer right after high school. It had the tan trim underneath it.
Eddie Bauer badges everywhere.
Everywhere.
So freaking
That was it.
sweet. Yeah.
That was it.
And then I got excited about this, but I actually haven't been able to find the car, just the watch. So maybe it's not real. But Panerai and Ferrari.
Really?
That could be cool.
Ferrari?
Yeah.
I have
the Gucci 500 Barth is on my honorable mentions.
I have
forgot.
one too that I thought. But as I'm thinking of other collaborations,
Yes.
the possibilities are flooding into my brain. I was thinking, you could do like a Land Rover Exxon Valdez edition. Use something like that, or like what would you do? Cookie Monster Pajama Pant Kia Soul crossover. So, something like that, or
Walmart Chrysler 300.
yeah, an airbrush Tweety Bird PT Cruiser edition.
The possibilities are endless.
My brain is not going to be able to focus on literally anything else for the next 4 days. This has ruined me.
We should write some of these down and do some. Maybe we could make some money on this. The Pep Boys Honda Civic.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, the Black Ice Air Freshener BRZ. I mean, come on.
This is gold. This is gold. We've been searching
GTIs.
This is
Okay.
This is our whole. We've been trying to figure out what we want to do with our lives for
Guess
so
what?
long,
Guess
and we
what?
just figured it out.
found it. Automotive
Okay.
crossovers.
Number 1
Okay.
on my list.
Okay. I'm closing my eyes.
I want one of these so bad.
Okay.
The AMC Gremlin
Oh my gosh.
Denim Edition.
Oh.
It's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. Okay, let me just play this out for you. This car is like a denim blue on the outside.
It would be.
It's kind of like a lighter blue.
Sure.
Blue wheels. The seats are denim.
I'm good with this.
Can you imagine wearing jeans
Jeans on jeans?
on jean seats?
That would be like the same friction most of my high school career was based on. Denim interior.
A denim interior AMC Gremlin.
Oh, can you find them? Are they around?
I don't know. I haven't looked, but I'm gonna. Because
You need it.
right.
Oh my gosh.
And maybe I could have the face of like the comic book guy from The Simpsons sewn onto the headrest.
Okay. Okay.
Can you imagine wearing jeans, a jean shirt, and jean jacket in a denim edition
No.
AMC Gremlin?
Do you know how much static it would generate on your mullet? So much static.
If you pulled up in that and got out wearing that outfit, and some dude pulled up in an Hermes edition Chiron,
Yeah.
he wouldn't even get a second glance.
He wouldn't. Not even close.
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yep.
Well, now we have new automotive aspirations. Because that would be fantastic.
Yes. I'm going to look these up. I'm going to find one.
Denim gremlin.
A Demlin?
Gremlin, I'm in.
The Kremlin, I'm in?
Kremlin? Oh. Okay. So next podcast is going to be devoted entirely to automotive crossovers. I think.
I'm in.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
We are going to come up with the best collaborations
Yeah.
we can possibly think of.
Deseret Book Ford Windstar. Oh man. This is never going to end.
Deseret book.
Never going to end.
Oh my gosh.
The Gen X clothing Hyundai accent.
There are some seriously solid possibilities
If
here.
you've stuck around with this podcast for this long, congratulations and we thank you. Please come up with some of your own automotive crossovers because there are literally too many possibilities. There are too many possibilities. And my brain is genuinely, my thumbs are already tired thinking about how many texts I'm going to send out in the next day.
There's going to be some amazing options here.
I'm going to give a little sneak peek of the top 5 for next week. Might be this week. Top 5 classified ad red flags.
Yes.
And I've got some winners. I've got top 5 and then 74 honorable
I
mentions.
was going to say, how do you narrow that down to 5?
It has taken some serious focus.
Yeah.
It's not been easy. And we'll also come with 35 excellent automotive crossover editions.
Well, in the meantime, I'm going to go and create my own 2004 Ford Focus Circuit City edition.
Oh, yes. Okay.
It's going to be sweet.
Yeah, I think if I knew brands of vape pens, the WRX vape pen. Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Okay. Peace.
Bye.